Yeah, you know I love to get out my lows. Fuck around and lose control. Drink fast until my brain moves slow now, slow down. Yeah, you know I love to get out my lows. 'Cause every time I talk I choke. Run fast until my heart explodes now, slow down. Carry on, I'm running on. Empty my fingers are going on. Turn it up, another song. Louder and louder now. Dissociate, dissipate. Is this how it feels to slip away? I don't know. Should I just go? No, it's alright. I'll go all night. I won't go. Yeah, it's alright, I'll go all night. Yeah, you know I love to get out my lows. Fuck around and lose control. Drink fast until my brain moves slow now, slow down. Yeah, you know I love to get out my lows. 'Cause every time I talk I show. Run fast until my heart explodes now, slow down. I'm on the run, it's coming on. Way too fast and way too strong. Start to laugh, hit the grass. Feel the cold through as it's running down my spine. Lost all sense of time. You see that I know I'm right where I'm supposed to be. And it's alright, I'll go all night. I won't go home. Yeah, it's alright, I'll go all night. Yeah, you know.
Welcome. I am plugged in and here for your midnight show, your midnight entertainment, and the saga of streamer wars exposing the crimes of Scientology and LAPD. Oh, joyous day today, reporting live from the RV. The clutch fan is backwards, the upper manifold is leaking, and the carburetor could maybe be clean, new carb, who knows. I did pay $600 to know that answer, those three things, so I had to beg today, and it's okay. It's okay. I got a good portion of donations the other day for that, and I had to beg for someone to tell me what was wrong. Okay. Let's turn that off. Turn the Wi-Fi off. Alright. Shitty streams by D.o.A at midnight. Hopefully it's better now. I have the Wi-Fi on still. Can you repeat, please? The fan was backwards. Yeah. And what was killing me was the front. It was blowing air to the back. But it was blowing air from the back because it was blowing air in the front, hitting the radiator inside and blowing it back. So it felt like it was blowing forward. Yeah. The conveyor belt? No, the stupid fan. But I had flipped the fans and it was still wrong with the fans flipped. So, I had flipped it. That's the thing. I flipped it, and it was confusing for him to go through that and think about that. And so, anyways, fuck all that shit. I'm through that. I almost had like a serious breakdown earlier, but I pulled it together. I snapped the fuck out of it, and well, what did I do? What did I do? I have a lot of paperwork. A lot of paperwork. No. We got to get the carb going. Upper manifold on, so I need to get a manifold gasket. I need to get another fan, and yeah. So, but I'm not even worried about that because I got court in like less than 8 hours. So, or in 8 hours, 12:36 minutes. What time is it? 12:07. Yeah, 8.5 hours. 8 hours and 23 minutes, maybe. So, but I finished. I made a killer. I think I made a killer motion here. It's like, who knows what the magic golden paper is? Who knows what the magic golden paper, but it takes so much space to say what you need to say and make your argument and to have exhibits. So you guys want to see my stack of paper? Oh, I bet you want to see my stack of paper. That one's separate. The Bricks and Minifigs lawsuit was 300 pages. Yeah. So what do we have here? We have 3 copies of... this is a Chimus. Chimus? Chimus. No, not Chimus. Pitches. Pitches motion. This asks for... like felonies or police misconduct. So that's that. I have my second motion in lemony, which is not going to be heard soon, but this is pitches. This is for the trial court, but I'll file it tomorrow, which is my second motion in lemony. And then I have, okay, so I got 1, 2, 3 copies of that. Got them nicely organized. I guess I'm saying this out loud so I remember this process, but the defendant's copy and the state's copy are stapled. I separate the declarations out and the proposed orders and the exhibits. And so I'm stapling each of those sections. The exhibits I'm leaving loose, binded. And same with the defendant's copy. It's all stapled. So all they have to do is stamp received. And then the court's copy. And then I have those also labeled. Okay. Exhibit. Defendant's exhibit. State's exhibit. I'm going to get different stickers, but I'm just using that for now. They're just the copies. They're not the actual court filing. And, okay, so that's that. That's my pitches. Why do I only have 1 pitches? Why do I only have 1? Because it's not that big. Alright, see. Alright, that's right. So the pitches. And then, so I got the top copy. And then defendant's copy, state's copy. And actually, what I'm trying to do, trying to have a convention on this too. So the state's copy is the next most important, and then my copy. Because I have like I have like 1 or 2 copies that eventually gets thrown away, a third copy, and then a copy on the computer in a couple different spots, maybe not, maybe in a hard to find spot. So, okay, 1, 2, 3, yeah. So I'm trying to really get a routine of how I file the papers. I said before in the other stream, but it's definitely helping with just overall looks and just keeping it in order. Once it's released out of my hands, it's much easier because I don't have all the 3 copies, obviously. And then I leave the quartz copy loose because they put it onto the printer, and it scans them all in and scans them all in one swoop. Okay. Police officer, motion lemonine, motion lemonine, motion lemonine. This is our 3. Confusing because those should all be together on one. I don't have a big enough clip, but I can put it in a folder. That's what the fuck I want to do. Sorry. The clip didn't, because I would have them clipped, but there was too many papers in the clip. I'm going to read this one. Where the fuck is the folder? Second motion in my mind. All right. I don't like the buttons as much as I like the Velcro. Velcro seems better class on that. Am I gonna have a pen here? Of course not. Son of a bitch. Hold on. Got all of her pens. That's where all the pens went. I've just been snatching pens. I gotta buy some pens. All right. Like, where did all the pens go inside? They're sitting right there. All right. Man. Second motion. Like, one of the big things for me, I get super anxious in court, and when I start getting super anxious, stuff starts to get a little discombobulated and separated, and then once it's separated, I'm just like more in a panic, and as I panic more, it gets more separated. So I'm desperately trying to find a system that works. What's happening is I got a lot of paperwork I'm filing, and yeah, it just takes a lot of paperwork to do this. Okay, so that's its own separate one. Just put it in its own folder. Don't be greedy. You got tons of them. All right. Second motion, lemonade. Pitches motion. And then second motion, lemonade. Oh, we got. Hold on. Did I fuck up? One, oh no, 2, 3. Quartz copy. Damn, I barely even fit with 2 in there. I had it all organized. Damn. How not to do it? You got fucking caught, didn't you? How the fuck did you get caught? Break the folder, fine. Break the folder then. I can't shut it. Hold on. I got more folders. This is what I need. Alright. Velcro. This is a fucking button. Close your problems. Too big. Fine. Modification. See if this works. Yes. All right. Superior. Let's change out this flag. Whatever this is. Place card, note card, index. Well, I have to do it just because of my problems, my anxiousness, and my, like, when I start panicking, even like that's some of the trouble for me keeping things clean, is because when I start getting anxious or in a rush, I hate being in a rush, but if I'm in a rush, I like will scavenge through stuff real quick trying to find it, like find what I'm looking for, and I just like create like this tornado path behind me. So, I'm all right. This is my 6 motion to compel, and this is okay. All right. We're getting somewhere. 1. See, this one's a lot. All right. This is my. These 3 are my supporting brief or witness list and offer of proof. I meant to send to the court before, but it might be too late. I was going to go to court on Monday. It just didn't happen. I sent it to the prosecutor, so he's had a copy. I just haven't filed it in the court yet. So I'm going to use it for each like depending on how this all goes. What I'm going to try to do, I'm going to meet with the prosecutor and try to get an agreement on what officers are, who we want to call, who we could agree on. So when we're in front of the court, yeah. I got the ADA accessibility report, and then the OSA manual. All right. So, I'm going to read my copy so I'm not messing up the judge's copy. There's the judge's copy, the state's copy, boom, boom, and then my copy. And we'll just put that right into the folder. Oh, always last minute. There's no way to fuck around it. When it needs to be done, it needs to be done. I think I kind of excel sometimes at the very last moment. All right. I'm reading this just so I could read it out loud. I really haven't. Okay. Notice of motion, blah, blah, blah. You don't need to know any of that shit. Boring. Boring. Yeah. I'm just biding my time. I'm plugged in, charging my ankle monitor. It's midnight. I got to wake up at 6:30. I got my suit laid out, back from the dry cleaners. I got my ties. I got 3 ties and the belt on the hanger, so I can make the decision of my tie. They're knotted. Shoes there with socks and underwear. So I just need to jump in the shower, clean myself up, wake myself up, and go. So, I probably gotta be up by 6 or 5:45. So I don't have much sleep, but I'm coming down from all of this, of putting this together. So I'm not able to go to bed yet. I gotta wind down. I gotta process everything. Now that's done, process it. Then I can wake up in the morning, and I'll be in a rush and have angst almost the whole time probably. But that's okay. That's okay. That's something I have anyways for projects and all sorts of things. As I'm aggressively rubbing my thighs right now with angst. Damn. Okay. You know what though? But like I feel good about it all. Like I feel like I gotta get my subpoenas. This is what the fuck. My subpoenas. Alright, I need my subpoenas. My subpoenas. My subpoenas. See, this is where it's about to get fucking fucked up. Subpoenas. Hold on. Because I need to get them stamped by the clerk. And I need to write up one for her. But I'm going to ask for another. I think I'm going to do another motion for witnesses, depending on how this motion for witnesses goes. Subpoenas. The subpoenas are in a folder. Let's see. Oh, man. Well, I want to show you that it's not. Oh, I am on mute. I've just been talking to myself then. Motherfucker. See, I am oh, there's my subpoenas. I got a subpoena book. What an idiot. So I am kind of organized. I was talking about all the things that we were auditing. All right. So those are the dots. I got the calendars. Those are months stickers. So I've been doing all the emails by month. All right. Do I need any of this for tomorrow? I just need what I need to file. Hold on. Plastic. Plastic. I think I got a film. No, I need my other folder. That's right. I changed it all. I think it's all in here. Okay. Yes. And so I got the LAPD stations on here too. It's a complaint. Motion filed. First motion to compel. So that one was just for my Yeah, my paperwork's gotten so much better from 14 months ago. These are all exhibits. That's what you're trying to get. May 5/1. May 1st. $2,025. May 1st. The rest was 3/10. All right. Second motion to compel. Motion for issuance of defense subpoenas. Okay, yeah. Okay, I already have this all organized. Defense subpoenas. Motion to modify release. Okay. Witness list. Minute orders. Minute orders. Minute orders. Some of the originals. Nice. Okay, okay, and the preliminary hearing transcripts. I forget what I have because I got so much. Okay. And then I got, what cases do I got back here? I have Menifee. Okay, Menifee's, that one's an important one. I gotta remember, this one's for count 1. I gotta spend some time on that one. That one's important. And Duke, I think this was another one. Yes, it was the intent, I believe, on the one. All right. You got some extra sleeves. Hate crime guide. Okay. I should probably read that hate crime guide too. All right, so I need this for court tomorrow too. And then this is my subpoena binder. States, I got everyone listed. Police officer subpoenas. Subpoena Scientologists. Subpoena Scientology. Okay, good. Look at me. I'm all organized. All right, and these are all each one of these is their, I got them broken down by divisions. Okay, I'm glad I went through this. I forgot I did all this. All right. So those, because the front ones, they're broken down by division, so I'll get them stamped and they go right back together as a group. So when they're served, they're easier to serve because I know which ones are which. And so I should have some individual ones. Okay, so I need this too. Fucking A. Gonna be a lot to carry in tomorrow. Fuck it. Subpoena. My motions. It's making me a little anxious right now. I'll tell you the truth. Just a little fucking anxious. Sucks. I'm at a disadvantage because I can't e-file. All this would be e-filed. I'm e-filing in the civil suits in California and Florida. E-filed in the federal courts. E-filed in the civil state court in California for all the restraining order stuff. But so that's my 6th motion, which I'm reading right now. So let's keep that here, right yonder. This is our pitches. This is our brief in support of motion to call witnesses. This is my 2nd motion in lemony, which that I technically don't have to bring tomorrow. I just kind of want to get it and be done with it. Like boom, I'm done. I got everything. Okay. And then I'm going to ask the clerk if she wants me to file it with the other clerk. That's what I'm going to do. So I don't take up that court's resources. This is the site accessibility thing. Tender that over to the prosecutor, and then the Sea Org manual. So that is a stack. And this. Oh, I can't even pick it up. Minus the clipboard. Nice stack. Alright. Alright. So, let me read this real quick and then I gotta go. Oh, and a stack. Wait, I lied. I had one stack of paper in there. Oh, and the I lied. I double lied. I have the appeal for being rejected for the Jane Doe case. Okay. And I got my other two ones here. And then this is the one I'm going to read. Alright. Okay. Defendant Scottie-hochstetter apparent improper respectfully moved to court for an order. I'm gonna try to read it really fast, just because I want to read it really fast. I don't want to fucking read it forever. So don't mind me if I'm going too fast. I'm sorry. Okay. Let's see. I could barely read in normal speed. Sometimes I'm more challenged on the faster speed, so I do better. Maybe. Defendant Scottie-hochstetter apparent improper. I'll slow down for the meatier parts. Moves this court for an order compelling the prosecution to immediately produce outstanding discovery in a usable format directed directly to defendant, to provide an itemized written discovery response and to identify what has been produced, what remains outstanding, what is claimed not to exist, and what is being withheld. This motion is brought pursuant to Penal Code Sections 1054.1, 1054.5b, and 1054.7. Bradley versus Maryland cited the due process clauses of the United States and the California Constitution, all applicable state and federal discovery obligations. Defendant requests that the prosecution be ordered to respond to this motion and the requested discovery in writing. Defendant does not request a continuance as a remedy. Defendant is currently subject to prosecution's failure to timely and meaningfully provide discovery. Defendant requests immediate production, direct access to all evidence in a usable format, and itemized written response and appropriate non-continuance sanctions. The sixth motion to compel is not duplicate of defendant's prior motions to compel. Defendant's third motion to compel concerned different missing or incomplete discovery issues. Defendant's fifth motion to compel also concerns separate discovery issues and has yet to have been heard. This sixth motion is directed at distinct and ongoing discovery problems, including the prosecution's method of production, including its attempt to tender substantial audio and video evidence through defendant's investigator rather than producing discovery directly to defendant in a usable, downloadable format. The prosecution's failure to provide an itemized written response identifying what has been produced, what remains outstanding, what is claimed not to exist, and what is being withheld. The prosecution's failure to produce or identify LAPD hate crime and hate incident classification records, reports, logs, notifications, database entries, and follow-up materials required or generated under LAPD procedures when an incident is treated as motivated by hatred or prejudice. The prosecution's reliance on Officer Ludo's alleged retirement as an explanation for missing discovery, even though much of the requested discovery concerns other officers, other investigators, other charge counts, and other records. The prosecution's shifting explanations for why discovery was not tendered, including statements that the motion has not been read, the officer was not subpoenaed because the prosecutor forgot the subpoena was not filed on time, and that one officer's retirement prevented production. Defendant is proceeding in pro per. Discovery is not meaningfully produced where the prosecution sends evidence to a third party, and defendant cannot personally obtain, review, preserve, transcribe, organize, and use the evidence for motions, impeachment, cross-examination, exhibit preparation, and trial. This motion is submitted based on defendant's declaration under penalty of perjury. Defendant is not attaching exhibits at this time, but defendant has the reference email communications and discovery production records in his possession is prepared to produce them to the court upon request. Discovery history, that's me trying to not have 1,000 fucking papers, right? Defendant has been requesting discovery since at least April 2025. On April 11, 2025, defendant's written request for production or items and information was stamped received by the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office. On May 1st, 2025, defendant filed the first motion to compel discovery. Also on May 1st, 2025, the District Attorney, David Goldberg, acknowledged defendant's discovery request in writing and stated, "I will continue to review any of my pinpoint issues you are seeking in discovery and will notify you as soon as it is available." On January 5th, 2026, defendant again emailed Mr. Goldberg and stated, "Previous email and my third request for production. I've already informally asked for most of these items before, not really sure where I don't have them yet." This confirms that defendant had already informally requested the discovery multiple times before January 5th, 2026. More than 15 days passed after defendant's informal discovery request without full production of the requested materials and information. And as you guys know, that when you request discovery, you have 14 days. That's it. 15 days, excuse me. That's 3 weeks. On April 21st, 2026, Mr. Goldberg responded in writing and stated that he had a large portion of the requested discovery already, including 911 contacts. Mr. Goldberg further acknowledged that additional discovery items remained outstanding regarding the alleged assault incident because the detective assigned to the incident had retired and a new detective was being assigned to review the outstanding items. Mr. Goldberg also stated they did not believe defendant was entitled to certain emails, calls, or reports that the prosecution deemed unrelated to the charged incidents. The statement is significant because it shows that prosecution was not merely claiming that no such records existed, rather the prosecution was making a unilateral relevance determination and withholding categories of records without providing an itemized log, a privilege basis, a Bradley analyst, or court review. Additional basis for the sixth motion, indirect and unusable production through defendant's investigator. Defendant has filed a fifth motion to compel discovery, which has not yet been heard. Defendant now files a sixth motion because additional discovery issues have arisen, including the prosecution's attempt to tender substantial evidence, including audio and video evidence, through defendant's investigator, David Goodman, rather than producing the evidence directly to the defendant in a usable format. This creates a serious and practical trial preparation problem. The defendant is representing himself. Defendant must personally review discovery, transcribe audio and video. Must personally review discovery, transcribe audio and video, prepare motions, identify exhibits, and conduct trial preparation. Defendant's investigator may assist defendant, but the investigator is not a substitute recipient for discovery that defendant must personally possess and review. The possession has previously tendered redacted discovery directly to defendant. Therefore, the prosecution cannot reasonably claim that discovery cannot be tendered directly to defendant in redacted form. If the prosecution contends any specific item cannot be produced directly to the defendant, the prosecution should be ordered to identify that item, state the legal basis, and submit the material for in-camera review if necessary. Discovery is not meaningfully produced when it's provided in a manner that prevents a proper defendant from personally obtaining, reviewing, organizing, transcribing, redacting where necessary, and using the evidence for motions, impeachment, cross-examination, exhibit preparation, and trial. Prosecution alleged that one or more incidents were motivated by bias, prejudice, hostility to a protected group, or a hate crime incident. So this is Section 4. LAPD hate crime and hate incident procedures make the requested records material. The prosecution alleges that one or more incidents were motivated by bias, prejudice, hostility towards a protected group, or a hate crime-related item. LAPD Manual Number 4 requires specific documentation, reporting, notification, database entry where an incident is treated as motivated by hatred or prejudice. LAPD Manual Volume 4 provides that a supervisor assigned to the scene shall document the response and actions of the Sergeant's Daily Report, Form 154800, and must ensure that the incident report and the arrest report, hate crime supplementary report, and other required forms are completed for crimes or incidents motivated by hatred or prejudice. The LAPD manual further provides that the watch commander must notify the Defendant Operations Center for inclusion, crime, or incident in the Chief of Police 24-hour occurrence log, make an entry into the watch commander's daily log, record the watch commander's daily report entry and sergeant's daily report to the area hate crime coordinator, and notify the community relations officer to liaise with the affected community. I bet you they did all that. The manual also records unit personal to enter hate crime or hate incident information into the Consolidated Crime Analysis Database, also known as CCAD. Ensure that appropriate crime code and corresponding MO codes are detonated and distribute the reports no later than 24 hours after the report is taken. The manual further requires that Area Crime and Community Intelligence Center to review crime, arrest, and follow-up reports, determine whether incidents were motivated by hatred or prejudice, and to verify that the CCAD information is accurate. The manual further provides, yeah, it's not over yet. The manual further provides that the detective assigned to investigate a hate crime or hate incident must provide the department's hate crime coordinator or designee with a copy of all reports related to the incident within 10 business days for a hate crime and 30 business days for a hate incident. Enter victim, suspect, and location information into the Department of Justice database, and if the incident is later determined not to be motivated by hatred or prejudice, complete a follow-up investigation correcting or removing the CCAD MO code related to the hate crime or hate incident. The existence or absence of these required LAPD records is material. If LAPD contemporarily tested the incidents as hate crime or treated the incidents as hate crimes or hate incidents, the department's own procedures should have generated corresponding sergeant daily reports, watch commander daily report entries, hate crime supplemental reports, department operations center notifications, chief of police 24-hour occurrence log entries, CCAD entries, hate crime coordinator records, Department of Justice database entries, and community relation officer notifications and related follow-up documentation. If those required records do not exist, or the absence is relevant to whether the hate crime framing was contemporaneous or was added later through private party characterization rather than ordinary LAPD hate crime procedures. I feel like I'm trolling, like, it's weird. It's like, wow, you could, like, troll in paperwork by being, like, fucking way smarter than them and a rule follower. What is the procedure? Records showing whether LAPD hate crime procedures were followed or not followed, initiated, delayed, questioned, corrected, amended, or abandoned are material because they may support or undermine the prosecution's theory regarding motive, intent, bias, prejudice, classification, credibility, and the reliability of the investigation. The requested records may contain exculpatory evidence, impeachment evidence, inconsistent classifications, contrary assessments by law enforcement personnel, evidence that an incident was not contemporaneously treated as a hate crime or hate incident, evidence that a hate crime designation was later added, modified, removed, or questioned, or evidence that required procedures were not followed. Such information is favorable to the defense and must be disclosed regardless of whether the prosecution intends to introduce it at trial. To the extent the prosecution contends that the responsive records do not exist, defendant requests written confirmation identifying which records do not exist and what reasonable inquiry was conducted to determine this non-existence. Because the prosecution relies upon hate crime, bias, religious property, motive, intent, and pattern allegations arising from the charged incidents, records reflecting the contemptuous classification, investigation, review, or reclassification of the incidents are directly material to the charged offenses. Oh my God. All right. So here it is. We're to the meat. What do we need? What do we want? What are we asking for? I'm buttering it all up for this. I think this is unless I find something else in any of this stuff, I think this is going to complete my discovery request. It's a lot. It's a lot, but I've been asking for this for 14 months. Okay? And the hate crime stuff, I've been waiting. It hasn't been tendered over. I don't know what they're tending over, how they're tending over, when they're tending over. It's all over the place. I'm just fucking boom. Let's file a sixth motion, the fifth motion, and we'll write it out. This is asking for sanctions. This is the sixth motion to compel discovery, request for immediate production, direct production to defendant in usable format, itemized written response, and non-continuance sanctions. That's what this is. Or I'm attempting for it to be. See how I write it through. And what do we want? Now. When do we want it? Now. Okay. So this motion concerns each charged event and each incident used to support the charged hate crime, religious property, vandalism, motive, intent, or pattern allegations in case number 25 CJSCF 60101, including but not limited to February 16, 2021, count 1. And this is the only one I got a subsection on because it was a beautiful thing, but I had to put the subsection subsection A on this one. Although this is not charged as a hate crime, hate incident, Officer Heather Mata checked that this charge was motivated by hate and is the reason why this date is also relevant to it being labeled a hate crime. So that's probably not the best verbiage, but fucking it's gonna do. And then so I have October 14th, 2024. I still don't have these dates down yet. 10/14, 11/8, 11/9, 11/11, 12/20. For each of the 6 charged incidents identified above, defendant requests production of the following records, reports, database, communications, notification, logs, and related materials. Missing police reports. The police report for battery by Erica Faith Immaterial, taken on scene for the 2/16/24 battery report of Jordan and seen on tendered over body cam footage. Number 2, the arresting report or investigative form 030100 or any report of Jason G. Nicholas, 42595, the officer who arrested, handcuffed, and took the defendant into custody on the command of Officer Mata on 2/16/24. So this officer was the arresting officer who made the cuffs. He's not the one that I have the arrest report from. The arrest report is from Nicholas. And so I don't have anything from him. He doesn't even exist pretty much in the paperwork. Okay? Number 3, Officer Salazar's complete prison report form 030100 from 2/16/24. Officer Salazar's 7-page police report, arrest report lists page 207, 307, 407, and 507. Pages 1, 6, and 7 appear to be Heather Mata's police form from the arrest of defendant. Number 4, Heather Mata's completed police form from 030100 as she commanded Officer Jason G. Nicholas to arrest the defendant. Defendant only has page 1, 6, and 7 via tendered over discovery. Number 5, the police dash cam of the arrest of defendant on March 9th or 10th, 2025 for the Penal Code 245 charges from 2/16/24 at the gas station. The body cam footage at the gas station for the arrest of defendant on March 9th or 10th, 2025. The defendant was released on bail for on March 11th, 2025. The backseat body cam of the defendant as they take him to booking. Body cam footage and police station footage of defendant, Daniel, and Cam as they were questioned and cuffed to the benches in the Hollywood Police Department. Didn't think about that one. That one's like, why don't I have that? Every other fucking video, every other police force and shit, they have all the body cam footages inside the police department. I should have those. They were talking to Cam and Danny, and he actually made allegations. Now that I think about it, super relevant. He made allegations in affidavit for the probable cause for the van search, saying that I yelled at Cam and Danny and said, self-defense, self-defense. So that was how I conspired with them. That was basically the only communications I had with Danny and Cam, was telling them to shut their fucking mouth and fucking just say fucking self-defense over and over again. Because he was grilling them. All right. So that just came to me like 2 hours ago. I thought about it somewhere along the line, and then I forgot about it, and then 2 hours ago I was like, boom, okay, I'm putting this in. All right. Okay. Body cam footage at the gas station for the rest of the defendant on March 9th or 10th, 2025. I don't know which day it was, 9 or 10. I can't remember. I don't have any paperwork from that day. I can't remember if I was in for 24 hours or 36 hours. So I asked for both. Either way, it's the arrest. You arrested me 3 different times. Okay. The backseat body cam footage, and police station footage of defendant. Okay. The call service for the arrested defendant on March 9th. Like, how did they know that I was at the gas station or what? Anything? Like, I want to know that, right? The paperwork for the release of defendant. This is a good one I hadn't thought about, and this one I just thought of too. I had a screenshot of the thing, and then I was like, man, I better read Penal Code 849.5. Penal Code 849.5 is an important thing. One is 849.5. It's a D.A. reject. Okay? It's a D.A. reject. And why is that important? I've been focused on it, but I didn't think about requesting, like rereading it, because I've been on things like 20 times and I won't read what I'm supposed to be reading, or it's not firing what's the importance and how do I plug it and how do I remember it. But this one says, I'll read it to you. The paperwork for defendant on February 21st, 2024 for Penal Code 849.5 DA reject under booking number related to the arrest on 2/16/24. I had the booking number. That's a typo, but whatever. It's going to be the typo. I deleted the booking number because I wasn't sure which screenshot was which, and I could have put the wrong booking number, so I didn't. Related to the arrest on 2/16/24. According to PC 849.5, in any case in which a person is arrested and released and no accusatory pleading is filed charging him with an offense, any record of arrest of the person shall include a record of release. Therefore, the arrest shall not be deemed an arrest, but a detention only. Okay, this little DA reject, this penal code, is what beat my bail revocation hearing in West Virginia. My lawyer argued that, and he argued it very well. And he only charged me, I think it was $1,500. But that wasn't bad. That was all pretty much donated by everybody. So that was pretty amazing that I was able to raise pretty much the amount. I don't remember. It was right around the amount. I think I surpassed it. I can't remember, though. Yeah, but I watched Palcisio's body cam today, and Palcicio, or whatever the fuck her name is, Palacayos, she came from. That's actually why I thought of putting the watching her body cam was why I put the video in the police department, because she was running through the police department through those benches, right? So I saw them running through the Hollywood. Those are the benches that Aaron was handcuffed to, and what Cam and Danny was handcuffed to. So I have video of that, because that officer is running from the department through that hallway, that corridor where all the bullpens or cells are, out to her police car at Hollywood Division. and then she comes, and then basically she pulls up to when I'm getting arrested. So that's not Erica's the one who did the interview, and I might have heard that wrong, but I did add her to the list. I got to write another motion for another witness, but I'm thinking I'm going to be back in court in another week or two. I kind of want to go back in a week for motion for subpoenas if I can't get anybody served. All right. So I want the arrest. I want the actual a record of release, whatever the record of release was, and I should have fucking looked up the form number for record of release, but I didn't. But you can't do everything. All right. So I think that's all the stuff that I could get. We're still charging. Ooh, we're green, folks. We're green. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. All right. Section B. That was just Section A. We gotta go over Section B. We gotta be highly specific now. Hate crime documents. Number 1. Sergeant's Daily Report Entries, Form 154800. Number 2. Watch Commander's Daily Report Entries, including Form 1580-00, Form 1550, or any form designated or maintained a Watch Commander Daily Report. Number 3. Any documentation showing that a field supervisor responding to the scene was requested, declined to respond, or reviewed the incident and approved the report. Number 4. Hate crime supplemental report, Form 30105 for each incident. Number 5. Any request from confidentially information form 003, 02, 00 associated with any alleged hate crime victim or reporting person. Number 6. Any documentation showing whether the alleged victim was provided a hate crime resource pamphlet, Marcy's Law pamphlet, victim rights card, or any other hate crime victim resource. Department Operations Center notification records for each incident, including who notified D.O.C., when D.O.C. was notified, what information was provided, and any D.O.C. log, email, note, or entry created. Number 8, Chief of Police 24-hour occurrence log entries for each incident. Records showing notification to the Major Crimes Division for any incident involving a place of worship, religious property, Church of Scientology location, Celebrity Center, L. Ron Hubbard Way, Fountain Avenue, New Hampshire Avenue, or any Scientology-related location. That one might be very broad. That's a very big request, that one. But whatever. They could always just deny it. Records showing notification to the Department Hate Crime Coordination, including emails, logs, forwarded reports, memorandum, summaries, and copies of reports sent to the Department Hate Crime Coordinator. Records showing notification to the Department Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Officer, including emails, logs, forwarded reports, memorandum, summaries, and copies of reports sent to the office. Area Hate Crime Coordinator records, including any monthly hate crime summary, review notes, forward Watch Command daily report entries, forward Sergeant Daly's report entries, emails, memorandum, or tracking documents. Community Relations Officer records related to each incident, including notifications, contacts, outreach, community meetings, notes, emails, logs, approved department forms, or documentation of liaison with the alleged affected community or victim. Senior Lead Officer records related to each incident, including contacts, outreach, community meetings, notes, emails, logs, approved department forms, or documents of liaison with the alleged affected community or victim. So the senior lead officer, one of his roles and duties as a senior lead officer is for him in a hate crime incident to go and talk and console with the community of the hate crime. So like a lot of this stuff would have come from like the George Floyd stuff. All that is stuff that all be protesters like. That's where all like this stuff kind of comes from. For some of the like affirmative, would it be affirmative action? Yeah, I guess it would be. Some of the hate crime stuff. Whether you agree or disagree, I don't necessarily agree with the hate crime stuff because, to me personally, and I'm sure I'll get criticism, but me personally facing hate crime incidents, someone is more valuable than me. And I've always thought that with like police officers, if you hit an officer, if you it's a battery, right? It's a battery. It's a yeah, it's a battery. It should be a battery across the board, not just, well, you're this religion, they're a Scientologist, so you're gonna get in trouble. All right, I got to turn off this fan. It's cold. Dude, that was on low. That's a nice fan. All right, I'm getting tired now. All records showing that whether LAPD classified the incident as a hate crime, hate incident, vandalism, religious property offense, ordinary vandalism, civil dispute, protest, related call, or other classification. All CAD, Coordinated Crime Analysis Database entries for each incident. All records showing whether MO Code 903 was entered in CCAD for any hate crime or report or arrest. Any record showing that removal, correction, amendment, deletion, or change of ML Code 0903, ML Code 0921, UCR Code 999, or any hate crime or hate incident classification. So these CAD calls, these reports, there's a special code. There's a code 903 and code 999. So there's a little box on the police reports where they put this little code. So those police reports should contain those codes if they were designated as a hate crime. What's going on here is somewhere along the line, the prosecutor basically he made an amendment and made it into a hate crime, but no one filed it as a hate crime. So basically, the prosecutor made it into a hate crime. Okay, so I know it in and out because I got an amazing team of people who feed me all sorts of information at all hours of the day, 24/7. And I'm a fucking... I am something else. I don't know what I am. I just am. I am whatever you say I am. And my freedom's important, and it's the attention to details. And these are the rules. These are the laws. These are the manuals. They're there for this reason, so it doesn't get taken advantage of. So I'm just asking for it. And I've asked for it, and I have asked for it very general form. And now, unfortunately, I have to be very detail orientated because I'm getting just mass resistance. And so this is I believe the path forward. The path forward is through. Okay. Any follow-up investigation report created to correct, remove, amend, or reclassify a hate crime or hate crime incident. That's number 20. Callie, I have the body cam footage, or body cam policy, April 20, 2015. Is it 2015? It might be the 2015 one. I actually looked at it today. I just briefly looked at it. I've looked at it before, but I briefly looked at it. I did not use any of that, but we'll see. Thank you, though. I'm on it. I'm not sure what date it is, so I need to relook at it. I briefly saw it today when I was uploading the PC code picture. What else? Yeah, so many little details. I didn't think about the DA reject because that's an important piece of information. That was like, you said this happened, and the DA, the district attorney, said nope, that didn't happen. Reject. And not only was he not under arrest, you're supposed to say that he's only detained. And what did they do? They continuously over and over again said that I was arrested, and even used that in to prosecute me in West Virginia after Kirsten Pedersen was working with Officer Torres of Major Crimes and Garrett Robertson of the prosecutor's office of Berkeley County, West Virginia. And they also knew the West Virginia thing. One, they knew that there's these people involved in that were talking about eating my mother's cat, which we got the trolls, but that's the old school trolls. And there's an email before I came to Scientology addressing that. So before I even came out to Chicago or to LA, there's an email that I got through Discovery that was emailed by a lady in Florida who was defending me of what had happened, and the state's attorney, and then myself sent an email, which I also forgot I did, saying that they're talking about eating the cat, and they had conversation about eating the cat. But not only that, they talked about that I wasn't going to be charged or I wasn't arrested. The charges didn't stick, but we're still going to do it anyways, and hopefully he'll just learn, and the judge could just give him just an admonishment. And that's exactly what that judge did. I took a verbal admonishment, a little verbal beating, but they didn't revoke my bond. I was like, okay, hell yeah. Holla motherfucking Luya. Any records showing that detective, supervisor, SWAT commander, area hate crime coordinator, department hate crime coordinator, major crimes division, or department operations center determined that an incident was not motivated by hatred or prejudice. All discovery previously tendered over to defendant's investigator, David Goodman, reproduced directly to defendant in a downloadable and usable format. This request seeks all responsive records within the possession, custody, or control of the prosecution and any member of the prosecution team, including law enforcement agencies and government entities that participated in the investigation, reporting, classification, review, or presentation of the incidents alleged in this case. You eat what a cat? That's wrong and nasty there, dude. You eat what a cat. Yes, sure. Penal Code Section 1054.1 requires the prosecution to disclose specific categories of discovery to the defense, including, among other things, the names and witness addresses of persons the prosecutor tends to call a witness at trial, statements of defendants, relevant real evidence seized or obtained, felony convictions of material witness whose credibility is likely to be critical to the outcome of the trial, exculpatory evidence, and relevant written or recorded statements of witnesses or reports of statements of witnesses whom the prosecutor tends to call at trial. Penal Code Section 1054.4 provides that before a party may seek out court enforcement of discovery, the party must make informal requests of opposing counsel for desired materials and information. If opposing counsel fails to provide the requested materials and information within 15 days, the moving party may seek a court order. Upon showing the party has not complied with Penal Code Sections 1054.1 or 1054.3, and upon it showing that the moving party compiled with the informal discovery procedure, the court may make any order necessary to enforce the criminal discovery statutes. Available enforcement orders include immediate disclosure, contempt proceedings, delaying or prohibiting the testimony of a witness or the presentation of real evidence, jury advisement regarding discovery, noncompliance, and any other lawful order. Penal Code Section 1054.7 requires disclosure to be made at least 30 days prior to trial unless good cause is shown why disclosure should be denied, restricted, or deferred. If material information becomes known to or comes in the possession of a party within 30 days of trial, disclosure must be made immediately unless good cause exists. The prosecution also has a constitutional obligation to disclose exculpatory and impeachment evidence under Brady v. Maryland and related authorities. The obligation includes evidence favorable to the defense that is material to guilt, punishment, impeachment, credibility, bias, motive, and reliability of the prosecution's witness and law enforcement investigation. Defendant satisfied the informed discovery request requirement long ago. Defendant satisfied the informal discovery request under Penal Code Section 1054.b. Defendant's written request for production was stamped received by the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office on April 11, 2025. The defendant filed a first motion to compel discovery on May 1, 2025. On May 1st, 2025, Mr. Goldberg acknowledged the defendant's discovery request in writing and stated, I will continue to review any of the pinpoint issues that you're seeking in discovery and will notify you as soon as they are available. The email confirms the prosecution knew defendant was seeking specific discovery and that discovery issues remained under review. January 5th, 2026, defendant again emailed Mr. Goldberg and asked, stated previous email is my third request for production. I've already informally asked for the most of these items before and not sure why they have not been there yet. Therefore, on January 5th, 2026, the defendant had already made multiple informal discovery requests. More than 15 days passed after those requests were filed without full production. The statutory requirement for court enforcement has been satisfied. The prosecution admitted it had a large portion of discovery and that some discovery remained outstanding. I'm asking for sanctions, so we'll see. It's the wild, wild west. I have no clue what's going to happen. But this is how it's supposed to. I believe this is the way, the process of doing it. If that's reality, I don't fucking know. This is my goddamn best attempt. The prosecution is withholding categories of, and this was like all this angst the last couple of days of me trying to figure out how I wanted to proceed with all this. And I think it's pretty well covered. And like I had the 6 motion for the hate crime stuff, but this other stuff I didn't have it all together. I just kind of threw all this other stuff together. I had it all floating around in my head in different places. And so, yeah. I'm just asking, like, and I don't even care if you don't have it. I just need to know if you have it or you don't have it. Because that's important for me for asking questions. You know, what type of things that, you know, all that shit should be discoverable. And it really, I mean, these hate crimes, they're so petty and they're so overcharged. But, like, you still need all this shit, bruh. Just because you guys decided to change it later, and like the prosecutor just changed it on the limb, and after the defense rested in the probable cause hearing, he changed it through a motion, it wasn't even a motion, it was a brief. It wasn't even asking the court to make a move on it. It was, but it wasn't even like an order, or a supported order or anything. It was just tossing shit at the wall. So he basically is what, once those charges were dropped, the 5, which were bullshit anyways, then it's yeah. So it's all this shit's all garbage, man. Like it's garbage. I'm not taking a plea deal. I'm not doing it. Like give me my shit or just tell me you don't have it. I just do something. Stop fucking dragging your feet. I got goddamn ankle mounted on, and it's not. Here's sanction. Here's some fucking rules. You got fucking 15 days. It's not hard. I asked for this 14 months ago. Okay, I'm going to shut the fuck up. Let the paper do the talking. Mr. Goldberg's April 21st, 2026 email also said they did not believe the defendant was entitled to certain emails, calls, or reports that the prosecution deemed unrelated to the charged incidents. The statement shows that the prosecution was not merely claiming that no such records existed. Rather, the prosecution was making a unilateral relevance determination and withholding categories of records without providing an itemized discovery log, privilege basis, a Brady analysis, or a court review. The statement shows that the prosecution was not merely claiming that no such records existed. Rather, the prosecution was making defendant is entitled to discovery that is relevant to the charged incidents. The complaining witnesses, prosecution witnesses, officer investigation, witness credibility, bias, motive, impeachment, prior inconsistent statements, selective investigation, selective enforcement, and exculpatory issues. If the prosecution claims that any category of emails, calls, reports, 911 contacts, CAD materials, body-worn camera footage, officer communications, witness communications, hate crime classification records, and other records is not discoverable, the prosecution should be required to identify the category, state the legal basis for withholding, and submit the material for in-camera review if necessary. The prosecution should not be permitted to withhold entire categories of records based only on its own unilateral collusion, and the materials are unrelated. Prosecution's reference to Officer Ludo's retirement does not explain the broader discovery failures. subsection D. The prosecution has made representations that Officer Ludo's retired and therefore was not able to tender certain information. I completed all this angry, pissed off. I was so pissed off about the car, and then I went to rent the car, and I couldn't rent the car because it was a debit, and I rented the car with a debit because it's other states, so I was like pissed, and I got this all fucking out. I was like, this is how I gotta do it. There's all these different little fucking things that have transpired through the discovery shit. Defendant was specifically asking for, so I had to it was a lot of work, man. Defendant was specifically asking Defendant was specifically seeking body-worn camera footage from Officer Mata and Officer Eubank. These requests are not dependent on Officer Ludo. The prosecution's explanation concerning Officer Ludo does not explain why body-worn cam footage from Officer Mata, Eubank, or other officers involved in the charged incidents has not been produced in a usable format. Additionally, Detective Hall appears from the discovery tendered to the defendant to be a main investigator in the case. The prosecution's reference to Officer Ludo's retirement does not explain why discovery related to Detective Hall's investigation, reports, communications, follow-up materials, body-worn camera review, witness contact, and other investigative materials have not been fully produced or identified. Oh, thank you, Kirby's mom. Kelly, YouTube fan. Nice. Furthermore, than 3/4 of the defendant's discovery request concerns charges, incidents, records, officers, and investigative materials unrelated to Officer Ludo. The prosecution, therefore, cannot use Officer Ludo's retirement as a blanket explanation for the failure to produce discovery connected to other officers, other investigators, and other charged courts. The defendant also observed Officer Pinedo in court at the show cause hearing, sitting in court laughing with Kendrick Moxon and Jennifer Kroskos, both Scientologists spearheading the charges and in contact with arresting officers and investigators in both Hollywood Division and Northeast Division, LAPD, as seen in numerous emails. Officer Pinedo was present in court but did not take the stand or explain why relevant body cam footage and related investigative materials has not been tendered. Defendant understands Officer Pinedo to be an investigator connected to the charges other than count one. The prosecution has not provided an adequate explanation why discovery related to Officer Pinedo's investigation and non-count one charges have not been produced or identified. That little bit of information, that little thing right there, that was from that photo guy reporter. That was from his little blog. He had me thinking like he was all over the place, but on place. I love the style, and he had me thinking this officer was sitting in court. Why this officer was sitting in court with both the Scientologists? Why wasn't he there? This was supposed to be a show cause hearing, and you're sitting there. This doesn't make sense. So this is a product of me reading that and it firing in my brain. Wait a minute, and then that created a bunch of angst. And I was like, man, what is this? What's going on? How do I take this and move it through the court? Right? That was what was causing angst. And then I got to dealing with the RV, and it's God damn, I'm having a breakdown here, people. Yeah, the shit's important. It's important. Okay. According, the court should require the prosecution to provide an itemized written response identifying by officer, investigator, count, incident date, and discovery category what body-worn camera footage, reports, communications, follow-up materials, investigative records exist. What has been produced, what remains outstanding, what is claimed not to exist, what conducted the inquiry, and what legal basis exists without withholding any item. The prosecution's explanation at prior hearings show ongoing delay and lack of meaningful compliance. The prosecution's explanations for the failure to tender discovery has changed over time. At a prior court date, when the prosecution was ordered to show cause why discovery had not been tendered, the prosecutor stated that he had not read defendant's motion. At the next hearing, the prosecutors say they had forgotten to subpoena the officers. And at the later hearing, the prosecutors say that he did not file the subpoenas on time. These statements showed that the discovery problem was not limited to Officer Ludo's retirement. Rather, the prosecution's own statements reflect continuing delay, failure to timely review defendants' motions, failure to timely subpoena relevant officers, and failure to timely obtain and produce discovery. The statement showed the discovery problem was not limited to Officer Ludo's retirement. Okay, defendant should not be prejudiced because the prosecution failed to timely read the motion, forgot to subpoena officers, or did not file subpoenas on time. These issues are within the prosecution's control and do not justify withholding or delaying discovery needed for defendant's trial preparation. The court should therefore order immediate production, direct production to defendant in a usable format, and itemized written response and non-continuance sanctions. Defendant does not request a continuance because defendant is currently on ankle monitor conditions and should not be punished for prosecution's delay. F. LAPD hate crime classification records are material for defense. The prosecution alleges hate crime, bias, religious property, motive, intent, and pattern allegations. The LAPD's own procedures require specific documents, notifications, database entries, suspect review, supervisor review, watch commander review, DOC notification, hate crime coordination review, CCAD coding, and follow-up procedures when incidents are treated as hate crimes or hate incidents. I'm going to be a fucking expert on hate crimes in fucking LA County, biatches. A motherfucking professional Scientologist. Protester. Highly specific. Allegedly. We'll see. Let's not get cocky. I'll probably end up they'll probably put me in cuffs because I got too much paper or something. Destroying trees or something. Well, I did quote some foreign magistrates in the second motion of mine about Scientology. Okay. If LAPD contemporaneously classified these incidents as hate crimes or hate incidents, the requested records should exist. If LAPD did not create those records, failed to follow those procedures, later changed the classification, removed MO codes, corrected a hate crime designation, or treated the matter as ordinary vandalism, civil dispute, protest-related call, or other non-hate classification, the information is material to the defense. The absence of required hate crime documentation may support the defense theory that the hate crime framing was not contemptuous, was not supported by ordinary LAPD classification procedures, or was later shaped by private party characterization. Just exactly what's happened with the Reckless Ben shit, right? Oh, this is exactly the verbiage and language, like, to the T. And that shit's still blowing up. It's amazing. I love it, and it parallels what's going on with me. Except he's been swatted once and arrested once. I've been arrested and like, yeah, someday, maybe. Production through defendant's investigator is not meaningful. Hold on. Yeah. Production, okay, this is G. Production through defendant's investigator is not meaningful discovery compliance. The prosecution is attempting to push substantial discovery, including video and audio evidence, through defendant's investigator rather than producing the discovery directly to the defendant in a usable format. This is not meaningful compliance. Defendant is representing himself. Defendant must personally review discovery, prepare transcripts, identify impeachment, exculpatory material, prepare motions, prepare exhibits, prepare cross-examination, and prepare for trial. The investigator may assist defendant, but the investigator is not a substitute recipient for discovery that defendant must personally process and review. Requiring defendant's investigator to download, manage, redact, transmit, and organize large volumes of video and audio discovery creates an unreasonable burden and prevents the defendant from obtaining meaningful access to the evidence. This is especially prejudicial because the discovery includes audio and video evidence. Defendant must be able to personally review and transcribe this evidence. Without direct access to the files, defendant cannot effectively litigate motions, prepare impeachment, identify exculpatory portions, prepare exhibits, or conduct cross-examination. Discovery is not meaningful produced when it's provided in a manner that prevents the pro defendant from personally obtaining, reviewing, transcribing, and using the evidence for trial preparation. Defendant attaches Mr. Goodman's declaration in support of motion in Exhibit 1. We'll go to Exhibit 1. Going to go to Exhibit 1. Hold on. It's attached to my 3-page declaration. Damn. Booyah, bitches. Let's back here. It better be behind here. Proposed order. Oh, yeah. Let's see what our buddy David has to say. My name is David Goodman. Here's my address in Oxnard, California. Here's my number. I'm over 18 and have personal knowledge of the facts stated herein, and have called to testify to the contents of this declaration. I could and would competently and truthfully do so. I'm a private investigator licensed by the California Department of Consumer Affairs, Bureau of Security and Investigative Services. My license number is da-da-da-da-da. On February 27, 2026, I was appointed by this court as a defense investigator for pro defendant Scottie-hochstetter, case number 25 CJF blah blah blah. The Deputy District Attorney prosecuting this case did not provide me with any discovery in this matter until May 21st, 2026, after the day that we had the trial set. Okay? We had a trial set from February 27th, or May 21st, and after that was over and kicked back down to another court, then there was evidence tendered over. Now remember, if you remember earlier in my motion, that the discovery was that he said that he had a bunch of evidence. He had a bunch of evidence, a big, large bulk of the evidence, and he never tendered that over from April. So we're in June. We're at the day of the trial. Discovery, you're supposed to have the discovery all tendered over 30 days before trial. So, this is the court-appointed investigator for this. At this time, he provided me with a 1 terabyte external drive containing a number of files totaling 21,730 kilobytes of data. Also on May 21st, 2026, the Deputy District sent me 2 emails containing links to download additional discovery. One of the emails contained a link with 2 zip drives. The other email contained a link with 3 zip drives. These files are voluminous, containing a total of 70.3 gigabytes of data. My computer estimated a download time of 8 days to download these files. I have made multiple attempts to download these files, all of which have failed. I've been unable to download or access these zip files due to the volume of data contained therein. I hereby declare under penalty of perjury to the state of California that foregoing is true and correct. So, that is my investigator. I'm not going to read the declaration. The declaration is pretty much declaring all these things that are in here are true. I went over and made sure, it was, I think this is perfect. And then the proposed order. I'm going to jump back over here and finish this off. The prosecution has already produced redacted discovery directly to defendant. The prosecution has previously tendered redacted discovery directly to defendant. Therefore, the prosecution cannot reasonably claim that discovery cannot be produced directly to defendant in redacted form. If redactions are legally required, the prosecution should produce redacted copies directly to defendant, as it has already done with other discovery. If the prosecution contends that any specific item cannot be produced directly to defendant, the prosecution should be ordered to identify the item, state the legal basis for restricting defendant's access, and submit the material for the camera review if necessary. Prosecution should not be permitted to make discovery functionally unusable by pushing it to defendant's investigator and then treating the indirect tendered as full compliance. Defendant does not request a continuance because a continuance would punish the defendant from a prosecution's delay. Defendant does not request a continuance as a remedy for the prosecution's discovery noncompliance. Defendant is currently subject to ankle monitor conditions. A continuance would effectively reward the prosecution's delay with further punishing defendant through continued pretrial restraint. Defendant should not be placed in the position of having to waive speedy trial rights, delay trial preparations, to remain on an ankle monitor longer simply because the prosecution failed to timely and meaningfully provide discovery. The appropriate remedy is immediate production, an itemized written discovery response, rolling production of any remaining materials, direct production to defendant, in-camera review of withheld materials if necessary, non-continuance sanctions. J. Non-continuance sanctions are appropriate. Under Penal Code Section 1054.5 subsection B, the court may make any order necessary to enforce discovery. Defendant requests non-continuance sanctions and enforcement orders, including immediate disclosure, direct production to defendant in a usable and downloadable format, an itemized written discovery response, rolling production, in-camera review of withheld or disputed records, exclusive limitation or delay of late disclosed evidence if defendant is prejudiced, jury advisement regarding any failure or refusal to disclose where appropriate, contempt proceedings or any lawful orders if the court finds willful noncompliance. Any other legal order necessary to protect defendant's right to a fair trial and a meaningful self-representation. Defendant does not request dismissal and does not request a continuance. Defendant respectfully requests a court order and the prosecution provide by a date and time certain all outstanding discovery related to charged incidents. All discovery previously tendered only to the defendant's investigator, David Goodman, reproduced directly to defendant in a downloadable and usable format. All video and audio evidence in a format defendant can personally download, review, preserve, and transcribe. All body-worn cam footage relating to the charged incidents, including count 1. All body-worn cam footage from Officer Monitor relating to the charged incidents. All body-worn cam footage from Officer Eubank relating to the charged incidents. All investigative materials, reports, communications, follow-up materials, witness and contacts, body-worn camera review records, and related records connected to Detective Hall's investigation. All investigative materials, reports, communications, follow-up materials, body-worn camera review records, and related records connected to Officer Panito's investigation or involvement in charges other than count 1. All 911 contacts, 911 calls, CAD materials, radio communication calls for service, and dispatch-related records related to the charged incidents. All emails, calls, reports, officer communications, witness communication, related records in possession of the prosecution or investigating agency that concern the charged incidents, complaining witnesses, prosecution witness, law enforcement investment, impeachment, bias, motive, credibility, prior incident statements, selective investment, selective enforcement, or exploratory issues. All LAPD hate crime and hate incident produced records for each charged incident, including Sergeant's daily report, Watch Commander daily reports, hate crime supplemental reports, DOC notifications, Chief of Police 24-hour occurrence log entries, area hate crime coordination records, Department hate crime coordination records, major crimes division notifications, community relations officers records, senior lead officer records, CCAD entries, MO code records, UCR code records, DOJ database entries, and any follow-up reports correcting, removing, amending, or reclassifying hate crime or hate incident designations. All missing or incomplete discovery previously identified by defendant, including missing pages, missing reports, missing RMS reports, incomplete search warrant materials, and incomplete investigative reports. All itemized written discovery response identify what has been produced, what remains outstanding, what is claimed not to exist, what reasonable inquiry was made to determine non-existent, what has been tendered over to the defendant's investigator, what is being withheld, the agency or person withholding any item or category, the legal basis for withholding any item or category, and the date and method for each production. An itemized written response identified by officer, investigator, count, and this is the date and discovery category, all body-worn camera footage, reports, communications, follow-up materials, investigative reports associated with Officer Luter, Officer Mata, Officer Eubank, Detective Hall, Officer Panito, and any other officer or investigator involved in the charged incidents, including what exists, what has been produced, what remains outstanding, what is claimed not to exist, and what and who conducted an inquiry and the legal basis for withholding any item. And the itemized response identifying all officers, detectives, investigators, custodians, or agency personnel from whom discovery has been requested, subpoenaed, or sought, including the date each request or subpoena was issued, whether any subpoena was late, whether a subpoena was not issued, whether any person failed to respond, and what specific discovery remains outstanding for each person or agency. Redacted copies directly to the defendant where redacted copies directly to the defendant where redaction is legally required. That's an important one right there. I'm going to read that one again because that one is important. Related copies directly to defendant where redaction is legally required. Rolling production of any additional responsive materials immediately upon discovery or receipt. I love this term, rolling production, okay? Rolling production is like, when you got it, give it to me, motherfuckers. That's what rolling production is. I've been using it for the body cam footage and California Public Records requests. They've been denying shit. They're so shady, some of them, man. And like the one responded like, kindly, can you do this? Or kindly, they said kindly, like in big letters. Because I'm using the AI, their blanket responses. I'm using the AI to harvest the penal code that they're using to know what's required of the penal code, and the penal code requires that you have to give, when you make a rejection under that penal code, that you require the date that you put it out. And since I've been using the ChatGPT for the discovery requests, it's been so much more responsive with LAPD and they're responding to like multiple subcategories of it. So it's good, and I'm getting to some of the shit. They denied the Hans Utter assault where he assaulted the Sergio dude and me, and then took off the artist. So they basically said it doesn't even exist. So I sent some shit. Okay. Well, in-camera review of any materials the prosecution claims are not discoverable, but which may contain exculpatory, impeachment, bias, motive, prior inconsistent statement, witness credibility, selective investigation, selective enforcement, hate crime classification, or investigative-related evidence. In order that indirect production through defendant's investigators shall not be treated as a substitute for production to defendant unless defendant expressly agrees to that method for a specific item. Non-continuous sanctions for untimely, incomplete, or unusable production, including exclusion, limitation, or delay, or late disclosed prosecution, evidence, or testimony if the offense is prejudiced, and any other lawful order necessary to protect defendant's right to due process, confrontation, compulsory process, meaningful self-representation, and fair trial, and effective trial prep. Conclusion. The defendant has been seeking the requested discovery since at least April 2025. The prosecution has acknowledged the defendant's discovery request, acknowledged that the discovery was under review, acknowledged that it possessed a large portion of requested discovery, and acknowledged that certain discovery remained outstanding. Despite these acknowledgments, the defendant still has not received complete, direct, usable production or an itemized written response identifying what has been produced, what remains outstanding, what is being withheld, and what is being claimed not to exist, and why. The prosecution's attempt to tender evidence through defendant's investigator does not provide meaningful discovery compliance with defendant representing himself and must personally possess, review, transcribe, and use the evidence for trial prep. Prosecution's reference to Officer Ludo's requirement does not explain the broader missing discovery concerning Officer Mata, Officer Eubank, Detective Hall, Officer Pineda, the non-count one charges, the hate crime procedure records for discovery unrelated to Officer Ludo. The requested LAPD hate crime and hate incident reports are material because the prosecution relies on hate crime bias, religious property, motive, intent, or pattern allegations. The existence, absence, correction, removal, amendment, or reclassification of LAPD hate crime records directly affects the reliability of the prosecution's theory and may provide exculpatory, impeachment, or defensive evidence. Defendant respectfully requests immediate production, direct production to defendant in a usable format, and an itemized written response, confirmation of non-existence where records do not exist, and camera review when necessary, rolling production, and appropriate non-continuous sanctions. Respectively submitted, Scottie-hochstetter. damn. Got it all out, man. Fuck. Fuck. Like, I was, like, steaming and, like, yeah, today was a rough day, man. I had a rough fucking day today. Mentally. I got through it. And that's the product of getting through it. Fuck. That was, like, a whole shitload of things that all had to be, like, summarized in one document. And fuck, man. I was just like, okay, I gotta do it, man. I could do it. Not only can I do it, I'm going to do it. It took a while to frame that up and see exactly what. All right, so just get this put back together. So we got that. Office of okay. At least it's clean, huh? That. ADA compliance site accessibility evaluation. It looks nice, man. Sixth motion. Second motion, lemon 9. Brief support and witness list and offer proof. And pitch this motion. Then my paperwork, so tomorrow's gonna be the motion to bail release conditions, which I'm expecting to lose that just because I'm gonna try, and there was a change of circumstances, and then this is my subpoenas. I gotta get them subpoenaed, so. That's what's going to court tomorrow. This is a good new rinse on. Alright, fully charged. That light's off. That battery I was going to put on overnight, or over the next couple hours. Put this where it belongs. I don't think I have any water in here, though. I am waterless. Damn. Oh, no. Yeah. I got a little bit. An index for the filing for the exhibits. That's for the. I'm gonna keep that off. That's too much paperwork. So much paperwork, y'all. Fucking paperwork. I'm like just chopping down trees for this shit. Hopefully they're ethically harvest trees. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that fucking. I didn't even wear this. Did I wear the shirt all? I went swimming. Had a nice swim. Oh, I still have a lot of angst. Yeah, it's not the angst I had before. Why is it not? Because I'm prepared. right? It's a different type of angst. It's just an angst of wanting to be as good as I can possibly be, right? It's not an angst because the angst before was a different angst. This angst is like a real Okay, wait a minute. Before I start getting all fucking talky, let me grab the other phone. I'm gonna wind myself to bed here. Where is this? Oh, I have a phone here. I got phones there. Oh, I moved it. That's right. All right. I got 3 phones. I could get the 4th one, but I don't need to. I got one friend who always gives me a wake-up call. I'll get a knock if I'm not up. So, yeah. But I feel so prepared, right? And I feel like there's prepared than me. Them all. And this is my job. This is my job. Okay, alarm. Clock. Okay, 6:30, gotta leave. 5:45. So that's a couple hours away. All right, Thursday. 56 minutes. Oh my God, that's awful. That's awful. Suit jacket, everything. My whole outfit is laid out and ready. All my paperwork's laid out up in here, and then all my shit's laid out inside. No, because I think I already did the checklist. I did it no, I'm good. Got it this time, I think. We'll see. Gotta turn this phone on. Yeah, I don't do good with lists. Alright, we're gonna set this one at 6 a.m. That's 4 hours and 10 minutes. I only need a half an hour. Half an hour. Yeah, I got plenty of time with half an hour. Buy myself a little extra time here. 6 a.m. Off. Okay. The phone's going over here. This one's on behind my back, and I'm gonna set this phone real quick. Okay. All right. We'll pick up later. I'm just gonna chill for a couple more minutes. I got 4 hours and 10 minutes of sleep I could get, and then I'll get a nice nap. Yeah, I'm not gonna. Yeah. I feel awesome about it. I'll take my 10 breaths. I've been really trying to do 10 breaths every night. Sounds so fucking stupid. But I mean, is that not the core of meditation? Is in the present sense, in the present tense, and just my mind runs like 1,000. Like I make it to like 6 most of the time. I got this fan that's loud. Okay, I'll try it with you guys. Oh, yeah. It's almost time. Oh, stretching my legs. Definitely most of the moments going on. I love recording the days before court. It's so important later on after watching the outcome. How much angst and stress. At some point, it's all adrenaline, so it's just like sleep is good, but I just can't get too much of it. It's almost like I have the sleep, I get enough to be alert, but I don't know. I think even not have enough sleep is good because it just kind of like you just want to get it all done and over with. You want to make quick of it. It's 11 o'clock. Yeah, I'm still just chilling. I'm really glad I got that motion together. I was like, I was gonna like file later or something. I wasn't sure I was gonna do sanctions separate. I was like, no, let's just put it out. And we're like 30 days. We're almost 30 days from trial. I think all the stuff I'm asking for is reasonable. Maybe some of it's a little on the broad side, but a general just we don't have it. It's too broad. Really shouldn't take that long. It's just a straight no. If there's no more police reports, no more hate reports, you just say there's no hate reports for one None of the hate report stuff. There's just none of it. The whole thing across the board. Simple. It's not like you don't have to individually ask for, put that towards it. Ask for the moon. Ask for the moon and the sun. Settle for the moon. All right? Always a negotiation. Don't sell yourself short. Yeah, and it's 14 months late. There's no reason to have any of this. The hate crime stuff, I really like the hate crime stuff. I can't believe we got it all wrapped together. It sounds actually pretty good. Sounds really good. And it's mine. I read every word twice, 3 times. It's my words. Think it sounds good? It'll still land in the stars. I definitely have a lot of good people helping me across the board. Here, this is what I want to talk about, because this is really what, I had in the background, and I talked to my friend. You know how, there's just some people that you just have certain friends that you talk about certain news, but, I can't get enough of the Lego shit, man. The Lego shit's so fucking wild. First off, I didn't know there was a bunch of channels that specialize in Legos. I mean, I should have known. There's a niche for everything, but there's a whole fucking genre of Lego YouTubers. And somebody in the fork, what is it? The fork? Oh gosh, how do I not remember this? In Utah, Fork, the police department, the city. Someone in chat knows to answer this. Bricks and minifigs is the best quote I saw today was bricks. This is what I want to talk about for 5-10 minutes. American Fork. Good job. Thank you. I'm not done yet. This is the bonus track because now I'm I want to talk about it for 5-10 minutes before I go to bed and get it all out of my brain. Because breaking news is fucking awesome. Some whistleblower accidentally put the unredacted body cam and the body cam footage that was redacted of is it Aman? What's his name? He's the prophet of the Mormons. Yeah, I mean, it's so parallel to what's going on with me, of the merging of state and religion. Let me say this again. This is what this is. That's what it is for my case. We're talking about the Constitution, but we're talking about how important it is not to merge state with religion. Abraham, Joseph Smith. No, it's maybe it's not it's the second prophet, maybe. Abraham, Amon. It's the owner of the whole thing is conspiracy against Ben. Goddamn right. In California, that's Penal Code 183. Conspiracy. Mormon Mafia. Yeah, this is wild. So some type of person, a whistleblower, released the redacted video footage, which is fucking awesome. And so there's some hero working behind the scenes, and fucking the CEO of Patreon was they sent a retraction order, and in order to take down, they're and the CEO of Patreon was like, no, fuck you. We reviewed it extensively. We're not taking it down, and sue us. sue us if you want to take it down. So like, fuck yeah for speaking up against a fucking bully. It's weird when CEOs of court, like, very rare nowadays. Not saying that this guy's awesome or great, but he definitely did some hero shit today. Um, them redactions need some explaining for sure. Amon McNeef, yeah. Um, Now, Amon or the other guys, they sued their father in court over a LLC called Legally Mine. Like, talk about your caliber of person with LLC with Legally Mine, who steals through a some type of asset forfeiture or some type of weird loophole of franchise owner operator um, contract through all that, um, and the body cam footage of him sitting on the front stoop is just like amazing, and he's just a full of shit. They're trying to say that their process servers are at their house stalking and harassing. We've heard that before. This not. This is. We've heard. I mean, we heard this. We're hearing this. This is current. It's exactly what's happening. People are process serving and they're stalking and harassment. And so their father. I think they call it non-suit. Like a non-suit. That's basically like just retracting a non-suit on their father after sued, like I think it was like a month or something. They non-suited, and basically they used probably the restraint. Or they used the lawsuit to try to like the bully or to like make a threat basically, and then just redacted it. And yeah, it's fucking crazy. They oh, here the quote that was amazing was a $200 million corporation took a stand and died on a $200,000 Lego set. uh, for at least half a mil, yeah. Well, and they already raised like 300, and I think it was like at I could be wrong. I think I saw it like at 330,000 already. But that's just funny, man. It's so true though. Like, dude, are you guys? Dude, the Lego's back. It was like so simple. Like it was like the biggest like David versus Goliath, and all they had to do like it was so simple, and then they doubled down, and the cover up is worse than the crime. 372,000. Yeah, 200, 300. That's corporate legally seized the Salem Kaiser Oregon store, changed the locks, seized inventory under threat of police violence following a dispute involving $200,000 Lego consignment. It's wild. It wasn't even like stuff that they bought or went on. Like, it was just like, just give it back. It wasn't even like, yeah, it's so stupid. And then they'll frame it up the way they've been framing up. You fucked up. The civil rights lawyer fucking read an article. Atazi read an article. Read videos. You're fucked. Fox News interviewed Reckless Ben today. What's the fucking corporation that's about his corporation? Scientology sucks. Hell yeah. You wouldn't have had it known if I didn't say something about it. They allege corporate legals. Yeah, it's fucking amazing. It's like such like the story is just it's like wildfire right now on the YouTubes. And now that like the civil rights attorney hitting it, man, that's a big audience. Big audience. Big fucking audience. Everyone always sends me a thing. You should contact the civil rights attorney. Like, I just want to be like, motherfucker, like, I appreciate the advice, but I can't tell you how many fucking emails I've sent, how many hundreds of, like, I have hundreds of comments to the civil rights attorney. And I have not broken whatever weird threshold I need to have public support yet. I have a great group of people that support me. It went mainstream and then shut down by a smear campaign, and I will rise back up. Damn it, or fail trying. I don't know. I hope so, but I don't know. I just want to like sever, what's the two things that what's going on with them and what's going on with me is the merging of state and government. Excuse me. The state had allegedly knowledge a lot of the, even like the LA so intertwined, and like learning more about the Mormon stuff. I've been learning a lot more about it as of late. I watched one of their, like, they got like a council like 70 or 90. I don't know. All right, I'm going to bed. I'm out. Much love. Peace.